Hello, this is Timothy with Growling Pigeon Studio, and today I would like to continue the series on automated testing with a video on test-driven development. Arguably the most important video that you'll see in this whole series. The next one that I have planned, which I think will be the last one, will talk about unit tests and automated tests in Unity. But we're just going to chug along with this guy first. Get some concepts under our belts. But like I say, I think that this is probably the most important video in the whole series. Test-driven development. So what is test-driven development? That is the idea of writing a test before you have any code, and it is beneficial for a couple of reasons. One, it gets you to think about how your code is going to work before you write it. Number two, it allows you to dump all the stuff that you have in your head onto paper, effectively, onto the canvas, so that you can free up your head with what you need to do. So you can take all those requirements that you got from the client or from your boss or whatever, throw them all onto the canvas and forget about them. The unit tests will remember what all the requirements are for you, so that you can clear your head, you can program, and you can be efficient. This is actually shown to be 10% efficient. What I mean by that is that people who do test-driven development think and program 10% faster. It's really awesome. And I found in my own work that I work faster when I use test-driven development, and my code is cleaner, and my code is better, well thought out, and my code works better. So, I've sold you on it, right? I hope, maybe. Maybe you don't like listening to my voice, maybe you hate my beard, whatever. But let's get on with some test-driven development. So I'm doing Fizzbuzz. That's easy. Just about everybody knows what Fizzbuzz is. Those who don't, basically you take a number, and if that number is divisible by 3, you say fizz. If the number is divisible by 5, then you say buzz. If it's divisible by 3 and also divisible by 5, then you say fizzbuzz. And if it is not divisible by any of those numbers, then you just repeat the number. So, in test-driven development, it's best to go from the smallest unit possible and move up from there. Again, these are unit tests, so it should be small units, right? So what I'm going to start with is the smallest unit that I can get in the Fizzbuzz system, and that is determining whether a number is divisible by a 3 or by 5. So I'm just going to write a couple of unit tests. Public void is buzz. Actually, sorry, is fizz first, right? Is fizz, and this will be not fizz. So it'll be like a 1, or it'll be a 2, or something that's not divisible by 3. Now let's try something. Public void is fizz. And this one is divisible by 3. So I'm not going to write any extra details about it in the method name. This, of course, is a test, not testy, but a test. Okay. And then I'm going to do the same thing with buzz. So is buzz not buzz? And is buzz, where it is buzz. Alright, assert with is buzz, so is true. So whatever this method is going to be, it's going to return a Boolean value. And what is the class that we're going to do? Is it going to be static? Is it going to be something that we have to create an instance of? I think we're going to go with static because we don't really need an internal state when we're doing Fizzbuzz determination, so this will be static. Fizzbuzz logic dot is buzz, and this one is divisible by 5, so let's put in 5. Pretty easy to determine. You'll notice it's complaining that it doesn't know what Fizzbuzz logic is, and that's because we haven't even created that class yet. Again, this is write the tests first, and then write the code. And I promise you, it's easier this way. It really is. It takes a little bit to get your head around at first, but once you got it, man, it really goes faster. Now this one, of course, is going to be false because we're going to put in a number that is not divisible by 5, for example, 1. And hey, this one, we'll put in 1 as well. And is false is fizz. And then, of course, this one will be 3, and it will be true. Okay, so I've got some tests set up. I'm going to go in and create the class that'll satisfy this, so it will at least compile. And then we'll add isFizz and isBuzz. So I'll just come up here, go to create, wherever it went, add new item. And this will be fizz, buzz, logic. Again, I said that this is going to be static, so public static. Important to spell that right. I'm just going to do public static bool isFizz int n. And how do I determine that it's divisible by 3? I think I'll do the modulus route. So return n mod 3 equals 0. Okay, and do the same thing with buzz. isBuzz modulus 5 equals 0. Cool, so that should satisfy the test that we've written. And I'm not going to go forward and write any more code until I write tests around it. But I want to just stop, make sure that my unit tests are going to work. So let's build, rebuild solution. Now when you run the unit test, it will also just kick off a build, but I want to be a little bit discreet. Alright, I have 4 tests. Let's discover them properly, run all. Look at that, all passed. Fantastic, hallelujah, right? Okay, so now that I can determine that a number is a fizz or a buzz, let's put that together. Let's take a number and return a string that is either the number, fizz, buzz, or fizzbuzz. So, and this is going to require us to come up with a name for this method as well at the point of writing the test. So let's see, I guess name number, maybe that makes sense. Name number, we'll do number 1. So assert are equal. So it should come back as a string 1. And what should come back as a string 1? Fizz, buzz, logic, name, number, 1. Alright, we can copy and paste this a couple of times, try to cover all the scenarios. For example, what happens if it's 3? What happens if it's 5? And then a number that is divisible by both 3 and 5, 15. We'll put in 15 here. It should come back with fizz, buzz, like that. This should come back with buzz when given the number 5. And this, when given the number 3, should give back fizz. Alright, again, we have 4 more tests, but only one method that we're going to build. Name number. Alright, let's go in and build name number. Public static string name number int n, and it helps if we spell this right. Alright, how are we going to decide what our number name is going to be? let's start with Fizz, and if it's not Fizz, then we'll try Buzz. Now this is the part where you determine if you're a real programmer or not on a whiteboard, is whether or not you can get the logic to hit everything that you need it to hit. I'm going to use booleans. So bool was named equals false. If is Fizz n, then was named equals true. And let's create some string that we're going to add to. And normally I would use a string builder. String builders are very fast, but right now I'm just going to do an addition. Just basic concatenation with the plus operator. So string name equals string dot empty. Alright, so name plus equals Fizz. If is Buzz, we have to supply the number. Can't forget that part. Was named equals true. Name plus equals Buzz. And then finally, if not was named, return n to string, otherwise return name. So that should satisfy all of our tests. Let's go down, make sure that everything compiles right. We don't have any red lines, so that's good. Go to our Test Explorer and see if they pass. Fantastic. Well, I can go on and I can write another test that takes the number and it spits out all the numbers from 1 to the number that you put in. So it has to be a positive number, right? We can build a unit test to determine what happens when we get a 0 as an input or a negative number as an input. We can test all kinds of edge cases this way. But this is really good for determining your needs first, and then being freed up to match those needs in your code. And then every time that you've completed a little bit, you can come in here and run your test. And if you forgot something, then you can come back in, you run your tests, it says, hey, you forgot to make this work. And so you click on it and say, oh, what did I do wrong? What did I forget? And allows you to write your code, get to the point where you think you're right. You don't have to then pull up the sheet and say, all right, what did the customer say that they wanted? Did I match all of these? Did I hit every point? Let the unit tests tell that for you. Anyway, this has been the video on test-driven development. I'm Timothy. I hope you have a great day.